I was going to say, it's interesting, right? Because that point, he actually should have lost. The other ones where he had lost, he should have won. But, yeah, just playing within himself, looking very solid.
Yeah, well done.
It's a great serve.
Advantage, Team Belgium.
Yeah, last year for Bergs was pretty impressive. Rankings still continued to move in the right direction. Went from a 192 to 133. He's currently sitting at 129.
Game, Team Belgium.
It's right around his career half, one spot better. And I wonder how the win predictor sees this one shaking out. Bergs, the favourite. Certainly given the level that he's been playing at the last 2 years, the results he's had. It's got to be the odds-on favourite. Good intent. Didn't wait for the ball to come to him.
And again, Robbie, not overplaying this shot. It's good hands.
Deserved one.
30 love.
His opponent had 3 lucky shots in the last game. Very different in stature, these two. Bergs would make a good centre in rugby. Broad in the shoulders, so strong in the legs. This guy would be a good lock. He's your line-out man. He's the guy you go to. Tall, bit more slender. 6'6" when he steps out of the shower. No shoes on. And initially, I didn't recognize Stefanos when we went backstage because he had his long hair tucked under his cap. I mean, his hair's pretty long. It's longer than shoulder length, I would say. Amazing when you put it up, how it changes the appearance of your face somewhat.
(40-30). Game, Team Greece.
Well, that'll be a nice nerve settler.
Team Greece
2 service holds.
2-1.
He'll go and sit down with his team, feeling pretty good about the start that he's been able to make for Team Greece. 2-1 it is first set.
Bravo, bravo.
I'll tell you what, on days like this, it's good to be playing big matches, but it's also nice if you can be on the beach, Cottesloe and Scarborough. That is world class in anyone's books. Perth Beach is great for swimming, of course. Cottesloe has Indiana Tea House. We'll have to defer to Alicia Mollick on that one. And of course, the start of the Rottnest Swim and Sculptures by the Sea is right here in Cottesloe. Scarborough, good surf beach and great cafes and bars. Hopefully not too many sharks there, because the beaches look very inviting.
Time.
Never short of a word or three as Apostolos. I love it. Love the enthusiasm.
Doing well. Come on, let's go.
When he speaks, he sounds exactly like his son. Exactly. Chip off the old block. Mark, tell us a little bit about what it was like when you transitioned from being a top junior, as Zizou Bergs was, former world number 12, and you're making that transition to the pro ranks. Was it a case of, well, I'm good in juniors, your mindset, I'm going to be a great pro, or were you a little nervous making that transition? Did you question yourself?
No, my goal was always the tour. Even when I was playing juniors, I played my matches and trained the way to develop weapons to hit these guys on the tour. But in my opinion, Robbie, I feel a lot of juniors is important, don't get me wrong, because you can get, you know, if you can try and get that sponsor,
yep,
you're able to go out in trouble. You know, it's very tough without that. But a lot of the time, they're so focused on the results and just getting the ball back, and not developing weapons, which is what's going to help them when they get on the tour. And
That's where it always helps to have guidance. Somebody who's either been there or they've seen the pitfalls of other juniors that have focused too much on the junior game and not seen the bigger picture, the ultimate goal. Yeah, Robbie, we've both seen it plenty of times, right, on both sides, the men and the women, where you've got girls and boys who are #1 in the world and it's supposed to be the next big thing, but they cannot make that transition. And then others that kind of struggle in juniors, yet go on to have a very successful career on the tour.
Game, Team Belgium.
It's a better service game from Bergs. Anybody spring to mind who you thought as a junior, well, they weren't that great, but a couple of years later, once they perhaps grew bigger, stronger, their game developed, they'd done all the groundwork, and they perhaps exceeded expectation?
Well, I don't know about exceeded expectation, but for instance, you know, look at Tim Henneman.
Yep.
You know, he didn't have much of a junior career. What about Pat Rafter?
Yeah, I can speak for that. Absolutely.
15.
It's funny you talk about Tim, because I played him, he must have been about 17. And he was pretty skinny, he wasn't that strong. And even though I beat him, you could tell he was doing the right things.
Right.
And you could see that in 4 or 5 years' time, when he got bigger and stronger, everything was going to come together.
Yeah, there you go. He was planting those seeds, you know.
You know, coming in and you hit an average passing shot that's high on the backhand. And when you're younger, it's a difficult shot. But suddenly when you're 6'2", and you've been volleying for 4 years, he's crunching those away for winners.
Yes.
Losing those points 4 years earlier.
30-15.
That's good movement from Bergs.
30.
Low to the ground. Good dynamic balance. You see a lot of the players just hanging out after the point in that shaded area at the back of the court just to get a bit of reprieve from the sun.
And I don't blame him. Oh. That is just too good. I mean, I'd like to say, got to cover that line, but still, that was an incredible backhand passing shot on the run.
Yeah, he's sending him coast to coast here.
Yeah, see what I mean? And then he goes and split steps in almost in the middle of the court. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a hell of a shot, but you got to cover that line.
Nice way to bring up a break point.
Oof, did he get away with that one? That second serve, Robbie, at 125 kilometers an hour.
We call that a nude serve.
Nude?
Yeah, it's got nothing on it.
No, that was very, very nude. Oh, man.
Advantage, Team Belgium.
He's gotten caught a couple of times on the forehand side, just with taking his racket back a little bit too slow, and also his feet. Like I said, when you're nervous, one of the first things that happen is your feet get stuck. They don't want to move. That's a better point.
Deuce.
Bergs has missed a couple of opportunities now on break points. Sakellaridis is doing a good job of hanging in there. Let's try something a little different here, Robbie. He's going way out wide here on this serve.
Oh, he actually set the point up
Advantage,
beautifully.
Team Belgium.
Yes.
Third break point opportunity. Foot fault called. forehand unforced error.
Yeah, I mean, yes, he's going to hit some forehand winners, on that side, but that's definitely the side where you're going to see some unforced errors. His backhand's very solid. But that's 3 loose forehands, and all 3 of them on break point.
Of course, coaching mid-game is allowed, in case you were wondering. It's got to be within the allotted 25 seconds, though.
Advantage, Team Greece.
Very much needed first serve there. Nice free point.
First serve percentage, a lowly 43.
Yeah.
For somebody 6'6", that's not good enough.
Deuce. Advantage, Team Greece.
That's another smart serve to the forehand. He's definitely thinking out there. He knows that is the weaker side of Bergs.
Game, Team Greece.
Yeah, fights off a few break points. And stays out in front.
Team Greece leads.
Good job.
3 games to 2.
Says Captain Apostolos. 3-2, first set.
It's not easy to get the thumbs up from Apostolos. You know you're doing something good.
Να το νιώσει αυτό στο πετσί του. Δεν βιάζομαι, δεν κάνω βιαστικούς πόντους. Γιατί ποιο λόγο? Θα κάνεις βιαστικούς πόντους όταν θα έχεις μια ευκαιρία. Όταν σου είπα, μισή ευκαιρία να έχεις, θα πατήσεις μέσα, να τον πιέσεις. Αλλά θέλω να κάνεις καλύτερη διαχείριση του χρόνου. Ακόμη και σε επιστροφές. Ακόμη και σε επιστροφές να του δείξεις ότι είσαι εκεί έτοιμος να επιστρέψεις σωστά. Να το νιώθει αυτό, ότι θα μείνεις μαζί του, θα του κάνεις καλή επιστροφή και θα μείνεις στο ράλι. Αν δεν έχεις την ευκαιρία να επιτεθείς, θα μείνεις solid. Στη μέση όπου θέλεις. Κράτα το βάθος της μπάλας και βρες την ευκαιρία. Μόλις βρεις την ευκαιρία, αλλά για να βρεις την ευκαιρία πρέπει να είσαι πιο κοντά στην baseline. Πολλές φορές είσαι τόσο πολύ πίσω, είναι πολύ δύσκολο.
Listen, it sounds like Greek to me. You're going to have to help with the translation here.
Once he's finished, I will...
Να έχεις το χώρο σου, να μπορείς να μπαίνεις και να βγαίνεις. Okay? Όλα τέλεια. Έτσι, το attitude είναι σωστό, κράτησε το. Αυτό λίγο διαχείριση του χρόνου.
So, a lot of information coming from Apostolos, but the simple message is for him not to rush during the rallies, to take his time, doesn't have to pull the trigger so early, just to hang in there. And if he does want to pull the trigger, he needs to be closer to the baseline, further in the court when he's making contact.
Μην ξεκινάς τη μέση, για να σου επιτεθείς στο δεύτερο. Βρες σου γωνίες, κάνω ένα stable, okay? Let's go, come on.
15 love. Thirty love.
He's got to be careful here. Sakellaridis, I understand, he's just trying to be a little more patient here and get some depth, but he's still got to accelerate through the ball. Can't be guiding it. Smart second serve into a body. It's a very good play. When you're playing against someone who's 6'6", that serve in the body, it's going to be very difficult to get that frame out of the way quickly.
$40-15. Game, Team Belgium. 3 games sold.
Zizou, hey, come on, man.
Okay, this is the interesting part now. He had a couple of looks in the previous service game with the Greek. I think both guys have settled into the match now, 3 holes apiece. This is when the real contest begins for Sakellaridis. To fight off 3 break points in his previous service game.
Third kilo. $40. $40-15.
I always think this is a dangerous scoreline. I don't know if you ever thought of it like that, but I always try and highlight to certainly my son and any other younger players that I was working with, don't think the game is done at 40 love. You know, sometimes you can just back off, you know, Mark.
It's very easy to relax, right? Take that foot off the accelerator.
You want to give opponents as few looks at your service possible. You mustn't get any information from it. Shut it out. That's what he's done well here. 4-3, first set. predictor. Currently, it's a big swing for the Greek. Wow. Given that Bergs is the one who's had a couple of break points.
Μετά, άμα δεν έχεις forehand, αν μπορείς να πάρεις forehand, πάρε forehand. Αν δεν έχεις forehand, παίξε το επόμενο reverse βαθιά εδώ και μετά γυρνά. Και πίεσε, οκ. Απλό, πολύ απλό. Let's go.
Cosmos telling you your priority is to look for that forehand every single time, but if you cannot get a forehand, get it back deep and then look for that forehand. Very impressed with the way that Sakellaridis has come out in this match. Relaxed, belief, on serve 4-3.
Out. 15.
That was a nice forehand from Bergs on that low slice. Got up to it nicely and really accelerated through the ball, but got under it nicely in the highest part of the net.
Thirty 15.
That's a good point. Very solid point.
30.
He's using his forehand nicely. He's got some good work on a good rotation, and that backhand was a little better. He threw a little more on it.
Yeah, and that one of the longest rallies of the match. It'll infuse him with confidence, wanting one of those. Important stage in this opening set here at 3-4 30 all.
Little good return, a little tentative, a little tight on that forehand.
He just held his ground, didn't he? He didn't move into the shot.
Game, Team Belgium.
That's a good hold from Bergs. Lost a little bit of focus there, but got the job done. This is...
There's a sweaty palm territory.
Yeah, I was going to say the money part of the set right here.
Was
towards the end.
So Alex Ferguson used to refer to it as squeaky bum time. A legendary Manchester United coach.
I'll tell you one thing, Bergs is really struggling with that high ball in the forehand side. That's a very smart first serve.
30 love.
Using that height intelligent. I mean, a lot of players can deal with the pace, but there's not many players who are this tall. And so it's the bounce that gets you.
Yeah, and he's 18. His serve will develop as he gets physically stronger as well. He'll have more pop on it. He's got a huge serve. He will have a huge serve. It's got good weight transference into the serve. I think it's a little too far in front, Robbie. Very, very similar to Arthur last night. I think if he just gets a little higher, closer to himself, and uses his legs a little bit more, he's going to have a lot of pop on that thing.
Forty 15. Game, Team Greece.
He's done well here, despite the fact he has been making that many first serves.
5 games to 4.
He's got a 5-4 lead here, Stefanos.
Πολύ ωραίος το σερβί σου. Ξαναεπιθυμίζω, δες. Επιστρέφεις από εδώ. Ή θα βρεις αυτή τη ζώνη εδώ ή αυτή. Δεν είναι δύσκολο. Δεν είναι δύσκολο. Λοιπόν, από εκεί που κάθεσαι, από εκεί που στέκεσαι, επιστρέφεις. Ό,τι μπαλάκι είναι μέσα στον έλεγχό σου, χτύπα το εδώ. Πρέπει να είναι βαρύ εδώ πέρα ή εδώ ή εδώ. Ή χτύπα το εδώ. Κάνε τι θέλεις. Εγώ δεσμεύσω, εσύ θα αποφασίσεις. Άλλο σου λέω. Αλλά μετά όμως θέλω να είσαι εδώ. Κοίταξε, εδώ είναι, υπολόγισε εδώ 2 μέτρα. Αυτό εδώ είναι 2 μέτρα, Δηλαδή είσαι 2 μέτρα την baseline εδώ. Όχι 4, γιατί άμα κάτσεις στα 4, δεν έχει χρόνο ο άλλος να κάνει τι θέλει. Και μείνε στα 2 μέτρα, δηλαδή μείνε και κάνει τσεκαρίσματα γρήγορα. Δηλαδή πήγαινε εκεί, πήγαινε και κάνει παπ, να είσαι έτοιμος να μπεις. Να νιώσει ότι πλύνεις τις γωνίες, κατάλαβες. Ξεκινά όπου θέλεις, δεν πειράζει. Σου λέω, εσύ δεσμεύεσαι. Εσύ πώς νιώθεις, από ποιο σποτ νιώθεις ότι επιστρέφεις καλά. Με αυτόν τον παίχτη.
Θέλω να μου παίξει baseball ή όχι.
Κοίταξε, εγώ αυτό που θέλω να γίνεις λίγο πιο aggressive στα return games. Δηλαδή, αφού επιστρέψεις καλά, μετά να μπεις να γίνεις λίγο aggressive. Να νιώσεις το aggression. Φυσικό. Okay.
This is Group A at the United Cup here in Perth, and with the win earlier today with Maria Sakkari beating Elise Mertens, it means that Greece have secured their spot in the City final here, which will take place on Wednesday. This tie is not done though. See bottom right of your screen, 2-1 in favour of Greece. You've got to get to 3 match wins before you've got an unassailable lead, but every set, every match counts.
Oh, wow. Come on.
30 love.
Robbie, how was that? That, I mean, it's a good kick serve out there. Look at this return.
That is filthy, Mark.
And just great hands. Just, you know, to keep that racket head up when you're stretching like that. It's very impressive.
Love. 40-15. $40-13. Game, Team Belgium.
Good strong hold. Captain Flipkins will be happy with the way things have gone so far.
Love.
Set up the point nicely. That's some good hitting from both guys. But again, Sakellaridis just getting stuck with his feet on those short balls. He's waiting for the ball to come to him instead of going forward and meeting it. Because that one, he should be hitting it and looking to come into the net. And at 6'6", you got to ask your opponent the question, can you pass me? And if they can, then too good.
Well, the lungs would have been bursting at the seams during that rally. By far and away the longest rally of the match.
15-30.
16 probing shots apiece.
Without a doubt, the best rally in the match, Robbie. But again, look at this. Shorter ball and gets stuck with his feet. Bergs has really stepped it up a notch in this game. Now he's got 2 opportunities, 2 breakpoint opportunities to serve for the first set.
Game, Team Belgium.
Bergs just up the intensity, the discipline, the length on the ground strokes. And that's made the difference in this 11th game. He's got the vital break. And after the sit down, will serve for set number 1.
Niet vergeten van af en toe die slice er eens tussen te spelen. Zowel aan zijn backhandkant als zijn forehandkant. Ik denk niet dat dat een handigste is.
Nee, de neutrale situatie.
Ja, neutraal gewoon. Gewoon voor ter variatie gebruiken.
Θα κανείς κοντά στην γραμμή. Αν η μπάλα είναι ρηχή, μπες. Πάτα μέσα, χτύπα τη. Ανέβα φιλέ, Ντόμ, μην ανησυχείς. Αν είναι ρηχό το μπαλάκι, να κάνεις approach, κάνε approach. Κάνε ένα spin approach, accelerate, πάμε, κλείς το φιλέ. Ψηλό παλικάρι, come on, let's go. Okay, let's go. Come on, you can do it now, let's go. Let's go.
Time.
Okay, πάμε.
Oh, you can see that the pressure points 1. I'll explain that to you now. Twice as many for Bergs as what it is for the Greek. And that identifies the winner of the important points that have taken place within the set. And it's pretty much any point with a 30 or 40 attached to it. That's another good baseline rally from Bergs, just taking his time.
15.
Probably should have smashed it. Of course, at this time of the day, looking up overhead, the sun is right in the wrong place. I mean, it is hot out here. How's that mirage? Mercury is rising, and it's
15-13.
getting a little hot under the collar for Bergs. He was able to achieve the very first break in the set in the previous game. It's not a break until you hold. This young man, if you're just joining us for the first time today, welcome. He's filling the shoes of Michael Pavilarakis, who couldn't take to the court today because of some shoulder issues. He is 18-year-old Stefanos Sakellaridis. He's ranked 803 in the world, just 18 years of age. Settled into the set quite well, but Bergs is showing his experience and class now. He's just upped the ante. Played a very solid last game to break. Trying to put the finishing touches on this opening set. Serving from the tough end, got to be a little bit more conservative. He's going big to the body there. Lost his opening match comfortably. Was not well, we believe. They're playing a lot better today. He's got a set point.
Sakellaridis is doing a good job at hanging in there. Back to juice.
Here's Maria Sakkari with the one earlier today against Elise Mertens to put the Greeks up 2-1. With that result, it means that Team Greece has indeed qualified for the city final on Wednesday.
Let Fasuk. Advantage, Team Belgium.
Yeah, that's too good. That's a good slider out wide. That must say, that's definitely the one he favours, especially on the juice side. He's been hitting that well.
I think that's his first ace.
Yeah.
What a time to produce it. Set point number 2. Yeah, two good serves.
First set, Team Belgium.
Puts the opening set on ice. It goes the way of Team Belgium. 7 games to 5. Oh, I think the under schooner. I can understand a little bit of Belgium. Another pair of shoes. Need some new treads. Those ones are pretty hot. So some of the numbers from set number 1. First serve points 1 for Bergs. So decent. But I think the standout number for the Belgium is the net points one, 12 or 14. When he's decided to be proactive, he's been rewarded for it. Good start for the young Greek, but he was up against some good resistance from Bergs. Spread the court beautifully with both forehand and backhand. Took about 6 games for Bergs to finally get his feel going. That was probably one of the shots of the set, that backhand volley. And you can see a couple of forays forward, and mostly with good success. one of the things that we were looking at as far as both players is the average serve contact points, and of course that's Bergs, but it's more Sakellaridis. Look how much more of the box he can see with that first serve of his, and he's good at exploiting the angle out wide. That's one of the joys, folks, of being 6'6". But as Mark and I were discussing a little early on, for somebody who is 6'6" and has such a distinct advantage over other guys in the field, at first serve percentage of 46 is not good enough right now.
No, when you're serving from that high, you definitely have an advantage, and I think you can have even more in the future as he physically gets stronger. Maybe right now his service motion is beautiful and smooth, but that ball toss is so far out in front, he's not taking full advantage of his height. But one thing that's going to have to help him if he's got a chance of getting back is that first serve percentage needs to get up.
15 left. Fifteen. 30-15.
That's what we're talking about, using your height to exploit angles out wide. Also, as he gets stronger in the legs, he'll have more drive. Every inch counts when you're looking to exploit those angles. Reminds me a little bit of a young Sasha Zverev, who was so slight. Brought Jez Green on board, had a 5-year plan. Bulk up the legs, get stronger there. Of course, that's the engine room of a tennis player, isn't it?
Game, team, please.
Despite the fact that he's lost the opening set, some good body language. Good to see.
First game, second set.
Να γίνεις το πιο επιθετικό σου version. Okay? Το πιο επιθετικό version. Χτύπα το inside out forehand όταν γυρίζεις. Πρόσεξε, γυρίζεις. Πιο γρήγορα βάλει τα πόδια σου κάτω και πάτα και χτύπα. Πάτα. Στο inside out, αν πατήσεις και χτυπήσεις full power, την μπάλα βγαίνει έξω. Let's go, come on, let's go.
Pata, what's that?
Pata means step, so he's telling him get himself in position quicker with his legs, set himself, and then step into the ball to have his body weight transference towards his target.
Yes.
Right now he's planting his feet and he's open the way when he's hitting, making contact.
Yeah, the ball won't have a lot of impetus then, will it? Won't have weight behind it.
Bergs, he's starting to get a little more on his ground strokes and more depth, and he's hitting the ball a little harder. He definitely has relaxed and found his eye in that first set, and he's starting to hurt him with that deep one, especially towards the forehand side. So it's just telling him just to prepare earlier.
He's made some good moves in the last 2 years, 2021. Zizou, who, if you weren't with us at the start of this one, stand out junior. I think he got to number 12 in the world. And then in 2021, the ranking shot up from the 400s to 188. Then last year, took it further from that ranking to 133. He's 129 now, so he's on the cusp of the top 100 as Bergs. Oh, that's a beautiful ground stroke. That's what Apostolos is talking about.
Love 13.
Well, he's been listening. Stepped in nicely on those forehands. This is the first break point of the match for him here. And he's got 3 of them.
Fifteen, 14. Game, Team Greece.
That's a great game. He has taken the bull by the horns. He's taken the advice on board from Apostolos. And the aggressive mindset has paid dividends. Just 18 years of age. Plays most of his tennis at the futures level. So this is a big stage for him.
I
mean, there's a lot on the line. Obviously, he's playing for his country, #1, and the most important thing, his teammates, his captain, his coach. But, you know, there's prize money on the line. There's points. There's a lot of points. Ah, it's big hitting. Big hitting. Also, when you're ranked around just over 800 in the world, if you can win a match here, it's almost like a match, what is that, 20 points? Probably 20 points. That is going to be a huge difference for his ranking.
Yeah, those points determined by the ranking of the guy you're playing against. And because Bergs is 129, he falls in that 100 to 250 category, which for group winners, as you said, Mark, rightly said, 20 points. I'll tell you how many points he's actually got on his ranking at the moment.
I would love to know, just for a bit of fun, 20 points. What difference would that make as far as his ranking?
So right now he has a total of 75 from all the events he's played.
For the whole year.
At his best rankings points tally is
8 points.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, this is a huge difference. This is about him getting into pretty much any future he wants. Maybe some lower challenger level events.
Game, Team Greece.
Oh, it's great bounce back ability from the young man. After losing a tight opening set,
Team Greece leads.
he's got a 3-love lead in the second. Good stuff. Well, why don't we head out to Lucky Bay? Stunning white sands, clear waters on the Esperance coastline. This, of course, the Indian Ocean. And it claims to be Australia's whitest beach. Squeaky white sand when you walk on it barefoot. This is 8 hours south of Perth. What a spot. Different colors of blue in the ocean. There's something quite spectacular. And on a day like this, it's a pretty good place to be.
Let's go.
Time.
Come on, man. Let's go. Come on. Kom je al even mee?
Fifteen left.
So just a correction on my behalf, Mark's just pointed out I was actually having a look at Sakellaridis' player profile, but it was on the double side, not the singles. He's actually only got 23 points in singles. So Mark, with a win today, he'd almost double his tally. And his ranking would go from 803
to around 635.
It's a nice little turbo boost, isn't it?
Not only that, I think the prize money is also life-changing for him. I mean, the fact, you know, to have that support, to be traveling all around the world all year long, it's not easy for these young guys that do not have sponsors. Not only for yourself with your flights and your hotels and the food, but then if you would like to have a coach with you, that's another matter. You got to pay for him as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a group win here for the number 2 player, which Sakellaridis would be today because Pavlarakis has pulled out. Almost $26,000. That is a good day at the office.
So one thing we know is he's definitely going to leave it all out in the court. Yeah, look, we're starting to see some unforced errors come off Bergs' racket. And the other thing too, Robbie, is we know he was not 100% in his first round match. He definitely feels better. I'm sure he feels better. He's hitting the ball better than he was. But again, it's 33 degrees out there. You got to answer, you know, ask him the question. One set is one thing, but hanging in there for 2-3 sets, how's he going to feel? You know, has he fully recovered? Does he have enough in the tank?
Advantage, Team Greece.
Too true. I mean, this is a stock standard day in Athens. If you're Sakellaridis.
Probably in the
This
shade.
is exactly.
33 in the shade.
Oh. Another breakpoint opportunity.
Game.
Oh, how
Team
about it?
That's the way. That's the way.
Ball change, please.
Stands and delivers for his team.
Team Greece leads 4 games to none.
That forehand, it's right out of the Tsitsipas manual.
Apostolos was saying, I don't know, during the rally, don't be scared, hit it.
During the rally.
During the rally, because he's mic'd up. And then as soon as that point was done, he goes, that's it. And he goes, don't be scared, hit it. Easier said than done from sitting on the side of the court, isn't it?
Oh, man. He's taking it to the next level, Apostolos. It's not between points, the coaching now. It's
Well,
midpoint.
I think he was talking with the fact that he's mic'd up and he was talking to himself.
No, of course.
We can hear that. That's the only reason.
Absolutely.
15 love.
And again, after a quick start, getting some very easy points on his service game, which is exactly what he's looking for. You know, that again, that's another one he's missed where he's had a good first serve and yet his feet are not there. That is definitely something that's clearly that Sakellaridis needs to work on. Getting up, he's great side to side, but when he's moving up, he's having issues.
30.
Okay.
This is good. Yeah, gives you an idea of how Sakellaridis is up that forehand speed from set 1 to 2. He's done the same on the backhand. Nice uptick in pace. Taken on board the advice of Apostolos. Go for it. Don't hold back. When you've got time on the shot, take charge of the point.
Well, from 30 love up now, he's down a break point. You were saying that before, Robbie. You cannot afford to take that foot off the accelerator at 30 love, 40 love.
Use.
Good heavy second serve into the body.
And a lot of players don't expect it to the forehand. They expect just the regulation kicker out wide. Nice change up. How often have we seen Novak bring out that sneaky one down the middle on the ad side on big points, catches opponents unaware.
Advantage, Team Greece.
Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Apostolos letting him know that was 200 kilometers an hour.
That's an important hold just to keep the momentum working in his favour. Team Greece looking good here with a 5-love lead.
Δεν καταλαβαίνω που είναι. Ο Θεός σου δώσε ύψος και πολλές ικανότητες. Χρησιμοποίησέ τις. Εκμεταλλεύσου αυτό το πράγμα. Okay? Αλλά είναι στο δικό σου μυαλό να τις εκμεταλλευτείς, τις ικανότητες σου. Okay? Let's go. Έχεις μοχλούς. Όταν έχεις επιστροφή από το forehand, πας να μου σπινάρεις τον μπαλάκι. Για ποιο λόγο?
Good teammate.
Μπροστά επαφή, άσε να
So
περάσει τα
Despina, Papa Michael, just repping. Fellow teammate with an ass towel.
Αν το αφήσεις το χέρι να φύγει πάνω, θα είναι winner, crosscourt. Όταν σου κάνει άλλος μέτριο σερβίς στο forehand και είσαι εκεί με πίσω την μπάλα. Τι είναι αυτό, τι να το σηκώσεις, θα το πας πού, είσαι εκτός γηπέδου. Έχεις όλο το γήπεδο μετά σκοτώσει ο άλλος. Τι είναι, παίζουμε το πλέμα, δηλαδή κάνει τριπέκτες. Το κάνεις τέλεια τώρα αυτή τη στιγμή, αλλά το forehand τίποτα, μην φοβάσαι. Όπως χτύπησες μέσα, όταν έχεις forehand χτύπατο, όπως εσύ το νιώθεις βολικά, δηλαδή έχεις ανοιχτεί εκεί, τίποτα inside. Θα στο inside out, no problem, inside out. Θες inside in, inside in. Τα έχεις, όλα είναι καλά. Κάντο. Με αυτοπεποίθηση, βάλει τα πόδια σου κάτω, καλές βάσεις και χτύπα. Okay, that's it. Και μην τον αφήνεις να σε βάλει αυτός, να σε βάλει στην πίεση. Okay. Εντάξει, θα υπάρξουν μπάλες που θα είναι η μπάλα του βαθιά, θα μείνεις στο ράλι μαζί του. Οκ, και εκεί aggressive όμως το ράλι. Let's go, πάμε. Let's close it down.
Yeah, it's been thirsty workout here. But it's the Greek who's having to cover more ground. He's working hard. He won't mind the fact that this one's going to go deep. That's certainly what he'll be thinking. He's looked the stronger of the two, definitely in the second set.
Let for serve. Love 15. I
don't know if he's lost interest in the set, given the fact that he's 5-love down and he's already thinking about the third, but he's looking pretty flat as Bergs. Worth reiterating. He didn't feel great in his opening match against Dimitar Kuzmanov of Bulgaria. Lost that pretty comfortably. Two in love. At the end of the day, that one ended up being
40-15.
We were having the discussion early on in the week.
40-30.
Late 90s, early noughties, a lot of the players didn't come down here early and they just wanted to spend more time at home during the off-season. So a lot of the Europeans, it always took them, you know, a week or two to get used to conditions down in Oz, and you could catch them unawares. Of course, these days, most players will try and go somewhere warm in the off-season and replicate the playing conditions in Oz, either in
5-1.
Dubai or Thailand or somewhere else. Dubai is becoming very popular. Easy to fly direct anywhere in the world from there.
Yeah, Dubai, a bunch of guys. There was some camps in Abu Dhabi as well. I heard a bunch of guys training there. Some electing to stay in Monte Carlo.
Serving to square things up at a set apiece. And the reason I mentioned that, folks, was that because I was chatting with David Goffin early on in the week, and he said he wanted to spend more time in Belgium this year. And he said, Robbie, 30-degree difference in the temperature at home to what it is here. He's still finding his feet. Got better from his first match to his second. It's energy sapping, big time. And I just wonder how much Bergs is being affected by the heat today.
Yeah, Robbie, coming from cold Europe, you need a few days to get adjusted to this. You know, these kind of conditions. Not only is it humid, well, you know, there's a little bit of wind, not too much. It's nice out there, but just that humidity on the court.
Yeah, you're playing mostly indoors, aren't you? Now you're coming outdoors.
It's the lungs, it's the legs.
We saw that one coming.
30.
He's been caught out on a couple of occasions, but not that time. And of course, you've got more and more players coming down to Australia early in December. Beautiful place to holiday. Get used to the conditions. Sakellaridis certainly enjoying the conditions right now with a set point. It's warm out here.
Game and second set.
And this tie is heating up.
By 6 games to
Team
1.
Greece wins set number 2, and we are indeed going the distance. Well, I can't compliment this young man enough. After losing a tight opening set, you just wondered how much of the belief would dissipate from him, Mark, and it's been exactly the opposite.
It has been. I've been very impressed with the way he's come out from this match. I know he lost the first set 7-5, but he came out, you know, pretty relaxed. And to take me through those numbers, Robbie.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, that first serve percentage is up. And suddenly, it's laid the foundation for the rest of his game to flourish. And you can see how much more effective he is when he lands that first serve. Break points suddenly, I think it's freeing him up on his return games because he's holding serve so comfortably. He can be more proactive, be more aggressive. So that's leaking into that part of his game. And, you know, how often do we say it? It's such a cliche, but it holds true. You serve well, you play well. And that's what we've seen in set number 2 from him.
You nailed it. He's relaxed. The fact that he's holding serve more comfortably enabled him to relax a little bit more on the return of serve and be more aggressive going for it. And only 6 unforced errors in that set.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the best case scenario, right? You're being more aggressive and you're making less unforced errors.
Yeah, isn't that incredible? It shows with that racket acceleration, it's giving him more on the ball and being a little safer shot.
Yeah, some good input, some good coaching from Apostolos. Just asking for a bit more racket head speed and weight transference on the forehand. And that really came to fruition. Young Stefanos Sakellaridis, just 18 years of age. He's doing it for Team Greece here. It's a sister.
I love that. That support right there by his side, watching little brother play. I'm sure very proud. Trying to get him over the line. Now what's incredibly important is he played such a good second set. We know his stats went up on that first serve percentage. He was being aggressive, but I hope he can continue to be aggressive and not all of a sudden start playing safe because you can almost maybe see the finish line. Well, he's far from that, but he's got to maintain the tennis he's been playing. Keep stepping up to the ball. Moving forward on that forehand, get that body weight going towards his target, accelerating through the shot.
Yeah, and I guess at what stage does he perhaps start thinking about the points and prize money on offer for this win, you know?
I'm sure it's starting to leak in. I'm sure it's starting to leak in.
Yeah, 20 points for the win. If he got it, I would almost double his tally.
Yes. And let me tell you something from yesterday, Robbie. Despina, you know, when she got off the court, spoke to her coach, and I said, man, bad luck. She fought really hard. You know, I thought, you know, she technically had a good opportunity almost to winning straight sets, but the other girl just took it to the next level in the third set, but she fought well. She should be very proud of herself. And there were just a couple of things maybe that in my mind that I thought for her to look at. And he went to talk to her, and the first thing she said to him,
let's hear it,
was, I lost $26,000. Or I would have won $26,000 if I won that match. Yep. You know what I mean? So that is, for these guys, that you know, for the number 2, number 3 in the group, that's life-changing for him. They get that support in order to travel more, or to get someone to travel with them. So it does creep into their minds. That's a fact.
That's what's at stake for him. It's exactly $25,900 for a group win if you're the number 2 player. And somehow you got to put that to the back of your mind. But as Mark said, it's...
Is that US dollars, Robbie, or Australian?
There's no way in front of the dollar sign, so I think it might be US.
Oof, 26 now. That's 150,000 Australian.
Oh, man.
Τραβηχτής να παίξει αμυντικά στη μέση, σου πάρει δεύτερο φόρχαν και τρίτο φόρχαν. Πρέπει την ευθεία κατευθείαν. Μεγάλο στόχο. Άρα μετά από την γραμμή 2.
Now Bergs is that whole Belgium team still off the court right now. It's interesting to see his body language when he comes back. You know, is he still feeling it? You know, he's kind of not over what he went through as far as not feeling 100%. Probably around 35 degrees on the court.
Yeah, you got a 5-minute timeout if you want to change your clothing. If it's just a toilet break, it's only 3. Get an additional 2 if it's to change your kit. And I've got the feeling he's going for the full Monty. He wants as much rest as possible.
5 minutes, Robbie. He's got enough time to get back to the hotel and have a shower.
Always good support for the Greeks when we come to play tennis in Australia, especially in Melbourne, where there's a big Greek community. I mean, you can speak from experience, Mark, what it's like. I mean, you were living in Melbourne, weren't you?
Yes. Yeah, born and raised, Melbourne. One of the best cities in the world. Might be a little biased, but yes, I love that place.
Must be pretty cool to have a Grand Slam in your own backyard, literally. Those are the courts you go and practice at once a year. You have the whole world watching you, friends, family. I can't imagine how amazing that must be. Just some good body language here from Bergs. Perhaps he's just faking it. Sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah,
you just got to pretend.
Especially in front of your opponent, right? Show him you're feeling good. Show him that you're ready for this third set.
Is back.
Final set.
But how much has he got left in the tank?
Team Belgium to serve.
Because in set number 2, it was all about the Greek, Stefanos Sakellaridis. Can he maintain? Currently ranked to just outside 800 in the world. What a career win this would be for him.
Law 15.
Tell you what, Robbie, that body language on that other end from Bergs right now is not looking great.
15.
It's the time when Sakellaridis, I'm sure, is aware of that. Needs to make him play. Easier said than done. Sometimes you can get a little nervous when you're thinking about your opponent too much instead of your own game.
Thirty 15.
Heavy second serve return. Give himself a little bit more room staying back and then allow himself to move forward and with that body transference. Nice and deep.
Yeah, that mindset has served him well on that forehand wing. Got to give Apostolos the assist on that one. You happy with his racket head speed on that point, Mark?
No, he definitely was guiding the ball, wasn't he, Robbie? A little bit. Again, I understand the tension. 30-all, first game of the third, trying to keep the ball in play, trying to keep the rally going, but you still need to accelerate through that. That's going to give you that safety that you want.
Game, Team Belgium.
Well, it's so important
First game, final set.
to keep up that racket head speed. Let's have a look at what happens when he did get some nice uptick on the forehand, Sakellaridis. This is set one. This is his forehand placement. 36% of the time, it's in the deep zone. Look what happens in set number two. Watch that green number change.
Huge difference. Look at that, 0 bouncing inside the service line, 62. And there you go, that score tells the story, doesn't it?
Yeah, and some nice increase in the forehand speed. Set number 123. Set number 231 kilometers an hour. And that's exactly what Apostolos was saying to him. You need to be more aggressive with your forehand. And in doing so, he really was able to maximize in the depth department. And we can see the results on the scoreboard there. Wins the second set 6-1. Beautifully complemented by some good serving.
Well, Bergs has the trainer out. As I said, guys, he definitely looks like he still hasn't fully recovered from what he was going through a few days ago.
I mean, this does complicate things in the mind of Sakellaridis, doesn't it? I mean, chance to win a match, to get those points, to get the money. I mean, how's that going to affect his play? Is he going to get even more passive now?
Hey, look, there's no way around it, right? He's going to be thinking about it without anyone. Well, you're a human being, but he's 18 years old. As we mentioned, there's a lot on the line here. 20 points, ATP points.
$26,000.
$26,000 US.
This is a guy who, at his best event in his career, has made 4 ATP points. That at a Futures event in Monastir, not that long ago, actually.
And not showing any prize money next to his name, right? For the moment.
Yeah, that's how small it is at the futures level. It doesn't register.
It doesn't register. Think about that.
Your first big check, Mark. What's the first thing you spent it on?
I think back in the day, I remember it was like a gaming laptop when I was 18 or 17.
Do you remember which tournament it was?
No. Well, look, I must say, Robbie, I was fortunate enough to get a sponsorship with Phil. I signed my sponsorship with Phil when I was 17. It was right after I won my semi-finals at Wimbledon Juniors. So that automatically my life had changed right there.
Okay.
That was the last junior tournament I played, and it allowed me to travel with my father and play all the ATP tournaments, qualifying for all the ATP tournaments. But without that support, we would have had no chance at all. Or that sponsor.
40-15. Game.
Solid, good, quick game here. It's exactly what he needed to hold at 15. Now he's got an opportunity to try and make his opponent work.
I'll tell you what, I've just gone into your player bio, Mark, and this might bring the mood down, but in 1993, I noticed you played some challenges. In fact, it looked like a challenger here in Perth and Adelaide, and you lost to one Josh Eagle, and then the following week to Mark Petchey. And I'm surprised you recovered.
No,
easy, Robbie. I was 14 years old, okay?
15.
Oh, that's well played. Yes, he finally moved up to the ball nicely in that one.
15.
Got himself in good position for that forehand and nice racket acceleration.
Okay, I've done some digging, Mark, and I think I've found that first big prize money check. Oh, how good is that? Controlled aggression. Spreading the court beautifully.
15-13.
Just probing at the Belgian's forehand.
Yeah, and then look at that good acceleration with the racket head through that, making a huge difference in the way the ball comes off his racket.
Good tennis from both. Good attacking options. Good defense from the Greek. So, of course, the
30.
tournament, or I've noticed the first big prize money check for you, Scottsdale 1995.
Yeah,
made
that
the
was
finals.
That was the breakout tournament. I qualified and lost in the final to Jim Courier.
$25,000 back in the day is what he earned for his exploits, folks.
Out. 40-30.
I thought I heard nothing. Someone had called out from the crowd, but that one hitting the line. Some good depth here from Bergs.
Let pursue. Let pursue. Let pursue. Game, Team Belgium.
Bergs hanging on in here. Plenty to play for.
Team Belgium leads 2-game.
2-1, third set. Well, let's head out to Pinnacles. This is Nature's Window in Kalbarri National Park. It's 570 kilometers north of where we are now. Of course, all these are iconic natural attractions from layers of sandstone, I believe. These are the limestone formations in Nambong National Park. This is a little closer, 160 kilometers north
a medical timeout.
of Perth and Australia's Coral Coast, formed over 30,000 years ago. So we've got a 3-minute medical timeout here for Zizou Bergs. He's definitely feeling the heat. Physio did ask him if he wanted to take anything, and the head shaking was no thanks. Pickle juice is often popular at this time of the year, Mark.
I tried that last year at the Australian Open. It was disgusting. But if it works, right?
Yeah.
Anything that might help.
We see, I saw somebody taking it at one of the other venues. It might have been Paula Badosa. After a couple of sips, she just spat it out.
Heb je er of zijn ze aan het aankomen? Heb je er of zijn ze aan het komen?
Ja, ik heb wel licht.
Hè?
Ik heb licht.
Licht. Zie dat je genoeg tijd pakt tussen de fronten elke keer je schade opzoeken. Hè?
Now, he's not cramping, is he, Rob? He's just getting rubbed on his quads and his hammies, right? Just to keep him loose.
Yep. Of course, the cramp rule is a specific rule over and above the medical timeout. You're only allowed to receive treatment for cramps twice, and only during a change of ends or at the end of a set. And of course,
so only 2 change of ends or only 2 medical timeouts?
No, medical timeout's different. This is just cramps now.
Okay.
This is just cramps. 2 change of ends or obviously at the end of a set.
I see.
But one of the caveats to that rule is a player is permitted to forfeit as many points as necessary to get to the next changeover if they want. So if you can, you know, middle of the opponent's service game, you realize you're not going to hold, you can say, okay, give them the game. I want to go and sit down and get treatment right now at the change of ends.
You can literally say you can have the game, but or just stand there and let the ball go by you.
You can have the game. You can forfeit the game or as many points
I did not know
that's
that.
required to get to the change of ends.
Time.
Or the end of a set so that you can get your treatment.
Do you mind stepping out, sir? Thank you.
This is going to be incredibly important. Of course, is that continuation of that first serve percentage for Sakellaridis. And try and get a quick hold here.
Worth reiterating, a player only gets 1 medical timeout.
That second serve making contact at the shoulder level, that's how much that second serve is bouncing from a guy who's 6'6". Well, he set it up beautifully, didn't he, Robbie?
He's just got to remind himself that when you hit that inside and forehand, the court is a lot shorter. The net's higher. You've got to adorn it with all kinds of topspin.
Yeah, did a good job by making his opponent move, and Bergs doing a great job by hanging in there in that point.
Well, the medical timeouts definitely helped Bergs, no question about that. He's moving well. How long will it last? Nice combination of shots.
Yeah, Bergs definitely more physically stronger in the upper body, able to muscle that forehand.
It's been a money maker, that serve for him today, hasn't it?
It has been. That's definitely his favorite serve, and you can see that one. Bergs just struggling to push off to return that one. It's a big hold.
Two games.
Let's go. Πάμε τώρα. Πάμε. Με πόδια καλά. Θέλουμε πόδια. Αυτό τώρα θέλουμε πόδια. Let's go. Ένα game.
What's that? Something's having a nibble.
A bee or a wasp.
Yep.
Lot 15.
Well, this is a fascinating part of the match for me.
Yes.
This guy knows what's going on now. This match is well within his grasp. You can see his opponent is teetering on the edge. How's he going to deal with it, Mark?
Wow, Robbie. That was hell of a rally in both guys, really. Bergs definitely looking uncomfortable here, but I think just getting caught with his footwork as well and getting lucky at the end.
Oh, Sakellaridis could do with a little bit of that at this stage, just to help him get over the finishing line.
A lot of drama to finish. It's like a soap opera we're watching here live.
I think it's called the Heights in this part of the world, isn't it?
The Heights?
Yeah, I think it's a... I'm not sure. I think it's one of the soap operas here in Oz.
More The Young and the Restless. Remember that one?
Ah, yes. I'm thinking Heights because he's trying to hit new heights.
Right. Oh, that's well played. Wow, I thought he got lucky again. The Bergs moving up nicely to that, showing a nice chip cross, got in covering that line. And showing some nice soft hands. He's got some good technique on the volley, doesn't he, Robbie?
Yeah,
look at this.
That's watertight. Beautiful angle on the racket face here. Look at that, just to carve it cross court. Plenty of slice. Big point, that difference between 15, 40 and 30 all.
That was the right shot, just missing. Thought he had it there for a second.
Yep, so did I. Oh, wow. That is 3 millimeters out, Walker telling us. Shot was on, had time on the ball. That's nicely done by Bergs. He's done well there to hang on to his serve. And this one is getting very interesting midway through the deciding set.
For the
Same treat. So you had one MTO, right?
yeah, but I don't
Change event. We gave you a bit of time. It's not a prep. Right?
now it's the lower someone on the team assigned it.
Yeah, you guys can do whatever you want. Yeah. Then you go if you want. I can leave that with you.
Ja, zeker.
You don't want anything from the doctor?
Ken die andere Ken die andere
You don't want.
Ja? Oké dan.
Do you have some Panadol?
In hersenantiek misschien ook een...
I tell you, Marcus, this is an interesting development as well. I was wondering exactly what the situation might be in a team competition, because he's only allowed to receive treatment from the physio
Time.
for 2 more change events. But what's happening now is one of the teammates is getting involved in massaging the other leg, and the supervisor came over.
What's going on?
It looked like to say, you can't give him treatment. But I think the physio said, hang on, it's still within his change of end treatment.
That is interesting.
But what happens now, once you've had your change of end treatments, and can a fellow teammate give you a massage, try and keep you going? Doesn't look like they can. Get the whole team involved there.
15 left.
Shoulders, arms, legs.
He's been serving that second serve really well, especially mixing it up out wide to the forehand side.
Gentlemen working overtime.
Bergs is doing a good job. He's you know, moving okay, and he's just being solid. I think he's just going to ask that question to Sakellaridis, is, do you have what it takes to put me away? That is a good point.
30-15.
In my opinion, Robbie, that's almost worth like 2 points. I mean, getting him moving from side to side like that, on those slices, he was staying down low. I thought he might be in trouble, but got under that nicely.
And it's worth reiterating, Bergs has played some
40-15.
bigger matches in his career. He's played Hologic, he lost him in Marseille, 6-4 in the third. He got a wild card into Wimbledon. Lost first round at the Mets Tour event. So he's used to playing for big points and bigger prize money.
Game, Team Greece.
But the young Greek has shown
Ball change, please.
great fight, good character. Invested a
games.
lot of time and effort in the opening set. Had nothing to show for it. We both wondered how it come out at the start of the second. And his level didn't drop at all. In fact, it was exactly the opposite. And you can see in the sprints department, he's putting in the work, is Stefanos. Bergs is trying to conserve his energy. The sprints are down. He's just trying to manage his body here and just stay in the fight as long as he can.
Love 15.
With reiterating, prize money is still the same if Bergs goes on to win, but slightly fewer points because of the ranking of his opponent. If the opponent is 250 or worse, you only get 15 points for the win. Whereas if Sakellaridis wins, it's 20 ATP points for the W. Bergs ranking 129. Oh, beautiful artistry.
15-13.
That's good decision making under pressure.
Yeah, thinking clearly out there underneath these very stressful situations. That's good handwork.
Well, that is a gift he will take with open arms. Because once you start to get tired, you can't push up with the legs anymore. You can't get that rip spin on your serve. You don't have the impetus of the ground reaction force. Two break points. And Sakellaridis does indeed get the break for Team Greece. And that checkered flag is now well within his sights. He leads by a break of 4-3 in the decider.
Δεν πειράζει. Και να σύρει. Να το κόψουμε. Σίγουρος. Okay. Λοιπόν, απλά θέλω να σου πω ότι έχουμε δουλειά ακόμα να κάνουμε. Εντάξει, θέλω να είσαι... Όταν λέμε συγκεντρωμένος, όλη η ένταση να είναι εκεί. Συγκέντρωση και δουλειά. Εντάξει. Συνεχίζω να δουλεύω. Συνεχίζω να δουλεύω το ίδιο. Και τώρα ηρεμείς. Ηρεμείς. Take your time now. Σε ένα λεπτό. Εντάξει. Κάνεις σπουδαία τη δουλειά σου με το σερβίς σου. Συνέχισε το ίδιο. Okay. Σπουδαία δουλειά κάνεις.
Well, it's a family affair. That is Stefanos' sister helping out here on the change event. She's been very active, player herself.
Εντάξει, τελειώνει ο πόντος ξανά το ίδιο.
Made sure that that ice towel is in and around his neck pronto from the time he sits down till the time he gets up. It's by far and away the biggest match of his career. He is ranked 803 in the world. He's just 18 years of age. Chance to double his ranking points and put a whole lot of dough in the bank. Will that affect him in trying to see this one out? He's up a break in the third. You can just hear Apostolos giving feedback from the side of the court. He was the one who said, you've got to go for that forehand more at the start of the second set. Together with some good serving, I mean, it changed the whole dynamic of the match. And he won't let him relax. He will not let him get passive on any of his ground strokes.
15.
Oh, lovely change-up.
30, 15.
Lovely change-up, young man. Some decent heat on that serve. He's been feeding him a steady dart of serves out wide. What a time to change it up. Placed with perfection.
40, 15.
Great racket head acceleration, the combo of side spin and top spin, dipping it just in time. Would love to see the back of this game right now with the Greek. Needs a meaningful first serve. And he's got it.
Team Greece. Team Greece leads 5 games to 3.
This is a huge occasion for this young man. Huge. Since the loss of the opening set, he has handled himself very admirably. You can see he's the one who's covering more distance because he's working so hard with his feet to get into position, to rip the right shots. A game away from the biggest win of his career.
Love 15. Let's proceed.
I mean, Mark, how composed has he been throughout this deciding set?
I mean, isn't it been impressive? I mean, he looks the most relaxed the whole match. He looks right now.
2 points away.
Love 40.
And after 2 hours and 11 minutes of toil, Sakellaridis and Team Greece have arrived at match point. Some divine intervention, perhaps not needed. Too much time to think about that one, didn't he?
Oh, I held my breath, I'm not going to lie. But it did. That one had a lot of time. It just lifted up a little bit, and he's got 2 more, Robbie.
30-14.
A third chance to close it out. And he's done
Game,
it!
set a match, Team
It
Greece.
is the biggest win
By
of
2 sets to 1.
Sakellaridis'
5-7,
career.
6-1, 6-3.
An album of memories from this match alone. $26,000, 20 ATP points, but perhaps most importantly, a win for his country. And he's taken the scenic route, and he wins it 6-3 in the decider. You can see how much it means to everybody in the team. And for this 18-year-old, the biggest day of his life, no doubt about that. Oh, great scenes, great scenes. Of course, both sides of victory and defeat clearly evident there. Stefanos Sakellaridis, take a bow. And had to come in at the last minute, right, when Pavilarakis couldn't take to the court. And not only did he fill his sizable boots, but he went one better and got the win.
Είδες. Τι ταξίζει αυτό. Αυτό.
Beautiful scenes, beautiful scenes. And big shout out to Apostolos, who really talked him through that match, early stages of the second set. And I think we're ready to have a chat with the winner. Mark Philippoussis is courtside.
Well, Stefanos, congratulations on an incredible win. We can see what it means to you, but I want to hear in your words, what does this mean to you right now?
I mean, I don't know what to say. I came here with, I came in this match with zero expectation. I just say I'm gonna play my match and I'm gonna enjoy it. And obviously I enjoyed it to the maximum I could. And the win was a bonus. I mean, I could never imagine.
Now, a bonus is an understatement. This was a life-changing thing, not only with points, with prize money. There's a lot on the line. This is a life-changing moment for you. Maria came out, gave you guys the 2-1. You've got the victory. You're playing in the finals here in the city finals, but now you extended that lead for a 3-1 for your team. I mean, you've been here the whole week. The energy is incredible for you guys. What exactly is going through your mind? I mean
obviously, it's a big support from the team. They're actually the best team I can possibly imagine. I mean, I love them all so much, and I want to say thank you to every single one of them. I still cannot believe how impossible this organization is, and I'm out of words. I don't know what.
Now, absolutely. Just a couple more questions, because there's so much I want to hear from you. But in this moment, there's so much going through your mind. You can see your opponent is struggling with his fitness. How hard is it to maintain that concentration where you're not focusing on what your opponent is doing and you have to focus on what you're doing?
I didn't even try to pay attention to what he's doing. I knew this is going to be a big distraction, so I just focus on anything that's for me positive and keep going with it, because distraction could be like a very dangerous thing at this game.
One final question. The energy coming from your team, Box, is incredible. And tell me how having Apostolos by your side, the words he was telling you, what were you guys talking about? What were the things you were thinking about going out there and focusing on?
I mean, the team was on the crowd as well. The energy was amazing. I'm very, how can I say, grateful for all of it. Thank you guys, thank you my team. I mean, thank you everyone that was here today.
Well, Stefanos, it was an absolute pleasure to watch that match. Go in, soak it in with your team, and enjoy this special moment.
One more thing, I want to thank Stefan for fixing my bad cups.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Oh, you never know what goes on behind the scenes. Tell you what, Team Greece have got a fantastic team spirit going on. Always so well supported here in Oz. We are man ranked 803 in the world with, who knows, might be a career-defining match for him one day when he looks back at it, the amount of energy and confidence he takes from beating a player inside the top 200. On the cusp of breaking into the top 100 is Zizou Bergs.
Put your hands together one more time for Stefanos Sakellaridis. Of course, he now takes his country, Greece.
That is the best feeling. Captain Petros, team trainer Christos, just enjoying the moment. Now, Apostolos, some great advice. Just refuse to let him be passive. I'm not sure he gets that excited when Steph wins, his own Steph, that is. That's the shot. That's the one we're going to see all over the newspapers here in Perth and certainly on Team Greece's Instagram account. Quick look at the numbers, and Sakellaridis in that deciding set served very effectively. The opening set was poor from him, but once he picked up that part of his game, everything else started to flourish thereafter. The forehand started to get better once he stopped decelerating on it. He started to go for it. He played to win rather than hoping he would win. And what a moment it is for Team Greece, but especially for this young man today, with by far and away the best win in his young career. And he puts Team Greece comfortably out in front, 3-1. Well, I hope you enjoyed it as much as we all did. It's nice to see youngsters going at it, and when an underdog gets a victory like this, it always pulls at the heartstrings. And we'll look forward to your company in about 10 minutes or so when the mixed doubles will take place from Mark and myself. Bye for now.